Alright, I am sure that you've seen a lot of reviews, but not this one. Look, I'm not gonna bore you with specs, and I bet many others have already told you all about it. And I'm sure you can always just, read them, as you can do right now. But there are some things that I want to highlight. For example, nothing says that this is for 25,000. It's not. There's a big catch. Hold on. They've also removed some features that were there in the Nothing Phone 3A. It looks outstanding, but there are one or two things to worry about in terms of the design. And the cameras, let me just show you everything and you can decide whether it's good enough or not. Let's get one thing out of the way. It's definitely a phone that looks different from other phones in this segment, except of course when compared to the Nothing Phone 3A from last year. The bottom part, it resembles a battery compartment, while the top part is more of a camera compartment with this running track all around it. And this right here are the Glyph lights this time. But they're a bit of a letdown this time and we'll talk more about it. But first, let me clarify a few things. See, it's got this flat design, and while that's the good part, it does feel wider than usual. And if you hold the phone for too long, you almost feel like doing this. Look, despite a plastic frame, it feels premium in the hand and it looks good because of that design, for sure. But not like super comfy and definitely not for one-hand use. By the way, have you seen their pink and blue colorways? Those are definitely the ones that I would go for. Now guys, the thickness is manageable, but the bezels are interesting. You see, they're quite thick, but they're also symmetrical. And I think that Nothing keeps this on purpose. It's almost like their signature thick but symmetrical bezel look. You can hate it or love it. Now, the durability of the phone isn't all that great, considering the fact that it's priced in the 30,000 rupee price segment and the fact that it won't even survive a dip in the water. That's kind of risky. But hey, you still do get a pre-applied screen protector and you get a decent transparent case to protect it right out of the box. So that's something, I guess. Other than that, guys, it's stable on the table, dual SIM tray, no expandable storage, no eSIM support, and no NFC. And that's so odd because the Nothing Phone 3A had it. But guys, the biggest change from last year's model is in the Glyph lights. It went from this on the 3A to this on the 4A, more like Glyph bar. If you're new, these LEDs, they glow for an incoming call or a notification or to indicate volume levels or to show you progress of a timer or when will your Uber or food arrive. Look, if you fancy it, it's there. But honestly, you're going to stop caring about it after some time. So don't make this a reason to buy this phone. Of course, a lot of it is configurable and customizable. It's all in here. By the way, it's got that red dot at the back and it blinks when you record a video. Anyway, let's move on to the display and I'll keep it very crisp, just like what Nothing did with the 4A. They've increased the resolution to 1.5K now. Still a 120Hz smooth panel, and it's a pretty standard display. Decently bright outdoors, nothing too crazy, but it'll get the job done. Also, while it does support HDR on YouTube, but you don't get that on Netflix. But other than that, no major complaints with the display. You'll enjoy it most of the time, be it watching content or playing games. It's just enough. Alright, let's talk about performance now. So this time they've upgraded to Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 and they've also upgraded their internal memory to be a faster UFS 3.1 storage. Honestly, not the best chip that you can get for this price because there are more around this price getting you higher raw performance. But day-to-day tasks, they feel snappy, apps open quickly, and the phone doesn't feel like it's struggling to keep up. Plus the animations feel really smooth. So really, unless you're a professional gamer, this phone is not going to slow you down. And speaking of gaming, obviously it's not a gaming phone, but yeah, you can play BGMI at 120 FPS if you want. Although games like Asphalt, they are supported at 60 FPS, but it plays smooth. Also, this packs a 5400 mAh regular lithium-ion battery and it charges at a peak of 50 watts, gets to 100% within an hour. At max, it's like a day-long battery. That's it. But honestly, I do think Nothing could have gone with a longer-lasting silicon carbon battery and possibly 6500 to 7000 mAh given the thickness of the phone. Now, let's jump onto the software as that is a big reason as to why Nothing phones just feel so smooth in the first place. So, this one's running Nothing OS 4.1 and it looks very different from all other Android phones out there. See, it's still Android 16, but it's just the skinning and the aesthetic language that I think is a major character in Nothing phones. Right from the lock screen, you'll notice that there are different clock styles that you can choose from. Even the widgets on the lock screen look super nice, and a single tap gets you straight into the app. And by the way, you can add a lot more widgets if you want to. Everything has a very strong retro 8-bit vibe. It's across the UI, and even if you look at the icons and the widgets, they have a very strong nothing theme. Of course, you can always switch back to regular icons too if that's more comfortable. And even if you look at the native apps, they too have a very strong taste of nothing in it. Although it's a bit sad that they've still not been able to make their own native clock app or calendar app or calculator app. I mean, they've been able to make a whole phone, but not the basic apps. There are other minor things like ability to customize the folder and, give it a custom icon. You can switch the app drawer to look like a grid of apps or more iPhone style, where you see only the categories. And yes, you can also lock apps in Nothing OS so that way only you can access them. But 3 things that have really stood out for me when it comes to Nothing OS is that first, it's absolutely clean, no spam. There are no unnecessary preloaded apps, it's smooth, just feels very fluid. Second is essential space. Just the fact that I can double tap the essential key on anything that I want to keep a memory of and that the phone organizes it for me in one place, I think it's super useful. And third, I really liked the wallpaper generator. So, you can combine 2 ideas and hit generate to get a wallpaper that you like. And it kind of removes the whole need of a wallpaper app. And yeah, other than that, I think Nothing promises 3 years of OS upgrades and 6 years of security updates. And they're actually pretty good at that. So I think you're sorted. Finally, let's talk about what's new in cameras. So first of all, you get a 50 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and this time a new 3.5x 50 megapixel telephoto camera compared to the 2x telephoto that we saw in phone 3A last year. And I did take a few samples, so let's talk about that. See, if the lighting is good enough, the 4A can capture colors really well. I was surprised even at the dynamic range and how it managed the shadows in the leaves, the branches, and even kept the sky close to natural. Even here, it managed the highlights pretty well, and even the colors were kept close to natural. Here too, I'm really not sure that I could point out anything that was not good. So pretty nice photos. And the same with portraits. If you've got good light, it catches everything quite nicely and even has pretty accurate edge detection. However, in low light, although it's not bad, but it's just a bit softer and not as crisp. I also took portraits of some inanimate things like flowers. Decent, but in low light, again, just a little soft, it loses sharpness. The phone can also zoom up to 3.5x optical and 7x digital, so here's a 1x, and here's a 3.5x. Or if you want the whole range, that's 1x, then 2x, then 3.5x, and that is 7x, which is okay. I mean, it does look like it's, cropped into. Selfies are fine too. There are some that really captured me very well, maintained good balance, and they were sharp. But then there were times I felt it was a bit soft when, the lighting goes a little down. And lastly, in low light, as long as there's enough ambient lighting, it does an okay job. But if the lighting gets tricky, the Nothing 4A can lose details and the pictures can get really soft. Honestly, it's nothing too great or too bad. I think it's just about decent. If you're looking for a great camera phone, this is probably not the one to go for, but it's all right. But I do also want to take a moment and talk about the camera app. Firstly, in the portrait mode, while you can adjust the background blur strength, you can also choose what kind of bokeh effect you want. And so you can click regular bokeh or a bit more funky bokeh shots if you wanted to. And yes, there are some photo presets that you can instantly apply before taking a shot, so that's a nice touch. By the way, these presets are also supported while you're taking a video. The only downside is that it only applies to 1080p Full HD videos and not to 4K. Otherwise, the phone can shoot videos in up to 4K 30 FPS, and yes, there's an option to turn off the blinking recording light at the back from settings. Also, I couldn't find any option to click a macro photo within the app. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, now let's talk pricing. So, Nothing has been advertising this phone to be starting at $24,999, $25,000. This pricing is for the 128GB model, and it includes a 4,000 rupee exchange bonus, which you might not be going for. So, first of all, don't get the 128GB variant. I mean, most brands now start at 256GB. So really speaking, if you get the 256GB model and you arrange a credit card for cashback, you can effectively get this phone for 31,999 or 32,000, not 25,000. And that is the actual price of a Nothing Phone 4A 256GB. So The more critical question is, should you get it? Well, think about the other phones you can get at this price. There's iQOO Neo 10, there's OnePlus Nord 5, and Poco F7. And they're all performance-centric, with Neo 10 probably having better cameras as well. Then there's Samsung Galaxy A55, which is great from a software perspective, since it's got One UI. And maybe get the Nothing Phone 4a Pro. And that has a slightly better chip, although, it remains to be reviewed. So you might want to wait for that. Look, guys, Nothing has always been about, being a design-first phone with decent performance coupled with, at best, decent cameras. It's never been about high raw performance or monster batteries. And so if you want an optimized, fluid, and somewhat of a fun software experience on a phone that looks great and different, this can give you that. And yeah, that's it. There is the Nothing Phone 4a. If you guys still have any questions, thoughts, comments, let me know in the comment section. We will be reviewing the Nothing 4a Pro when it comes to us. So you might want to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon, and mark all. Helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.